I write in my book that's coming out in January about this woman who was going to a psychiatrist because she had high anxiety, and she was living in this Manhattan apartment, and she worked at this law firm, and he gave her all this medication and everything and therapy, and no one ever mentioned that she was living in a really weird environment that was bad for her body, right?
Wow.
So all of us need to do that. And then once you have that, and what she started doing was bringing in lots of plants. She started growing an herb garden in her Manhattan townhouse, or her Manhattan high-rise. So when you go to your sanctuary, the second thing is to take care of the animal that is your body. You know, Mary Oliver's poem, "You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. All you have to do is to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves." So you go into your sanctuary and you realize that this is a creature. Your anxiety is an ancient, ancient part of your brain, and almost every living creature on earth shares that particular brain structure. Like flatworms may not, but any reptile, any animal, any fish, any bird, they all have this part of the brain that gets anxious when they see something unfamiliar. And you don't calm down an anxious animal by trying to fight it or beat it down or reduce it. If I said to you, Mindy, I'm here to bring you down. I'm here to end you. I'm here to stop you. Like, how would you feel? And yet we say that about our anxiety all the time. I'm here to bring it down. I'm going to end it. Well,
I would fight back.
Of course.
That's where you get the looping anxious thoughts.
Of course, it's going to be terrified, and then it's going to fight or flight.
Yeah.
So in other words, your anxiety increases when you set out to bring it down. But if you go into a sanctuary and you say to it, okay, little anxiety creature, I call it your anxiety creature. Okay, anxiety creature, I am actually on your side. I know you've been trying to keep me safe, and I know how tired you are. So what can I do for you? I'm sitting in my sanctuary. What would help you feel safe? And it may. Go on.
What if the answer is, I'd just like to know what's good? You know, like there's a lot of anxiety in the unknown. You said it. Like, what if it's like, well, I just need to know this, and I need to know this. There's sometimes we can't know.
That's the storytelling part of your brain. So it's actually not that. That's part of the loop of the anxiety, but the creature itself, the basis of that anxiety really is thinking at an animal level. And so if you can bring your attention into the present moment, into the present circumstance, which is the only thing you will ever have to tolerate, is the present moment. If you can say to the runaway mind, okay, I hear you. I hear that many unknown things are there. So let's stick with what's known. And you look around your sanctuary and like touch those amethysts and the plant and smell the leaves and see what they're like. See if the paintings smell like turpentine. I love that smell. Start to come home to your senses. And when something says, but I need to know everything in order to be safe, that's just a very scared, not particularly bright animal.
Okay.
It thinks if it could know everything, it could control everything. This is one of the bases of parenting and teaching and work and everything. But guess what? You can't know everything. And even if you could, you couldn't control it at all.
Yes.
The only thing you can control is what to do in this present moment.
Okay.
So the first thing is just to look around and see that you're not in imminent physical danger, so far as you know.
Does that get easier with time?
It gets easier with practice. As my karate teacher used to say, practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent. So every time you take your fantastic, uniquely human neocortex that can imagine things that have never been, and you use it to scare yourself, that becomes permanent. It happens over and over and over until you think that only the scary stories are real. But they're no more real than any fantasy of wonderful things that might happen in the future.